That was too easy. This technology is getting too smart. I usually have to specifically choose the stream title that I want to do. Welcome everybody, by the way. Oh, this time I just like said start streaming, and OBS just started streaming the stream. Like that's never happened before. Welcome everybody. I think I forgot to do one minor adjustment here. Just a second. I might not be able to resist doing just at least one round of Battlegrounds here, because, dude, I love Battlegrounds. I'm not, like, a hugely PvP-oriented player in general, but Chaos Ball is one of my favorite modes, and, you know, I gotta fix my hair. I'm being a little prissy pants, but that's what this stream is all about. Being a little prissy pants and caring a lot about your appearance. I know I'll never be as beautiful as I am in ESO, but you know we can try, right? This is a long time coming. I have had lots of people ask me, like, what is this? What is that? What's this style? How did you look like that? And, you know, honestly, it surprises me that I've never really done any style content when this is literally what I focus on more than anything else in the game. I mean, I've done a lot of stuff. I've made a lot of progress in other ways, but really, like in this game and any other game I've ever played, like Destiny 2, even Diablo 4, like it's really hard to look good in Diablo 4, but I've focused on it a lot. Aesthetics, drip, it's literally what I made my guild in the game surrounded by, and it's how I got my initial following of people in the game, at least. People who, like me, wanted to be like me. So yeah, this is a this is a get like me stream today. How do you look like this? So first thing I'm gonna do is make sure my audio is on correctly. All right, yeah, we're good. So I'm gonna be pretty focused here. I'm gonna just try to get through an explanation that's gonna cover, you know, crafting motifs, dyes, costumes. I probably won't get into, you know, like pets and mounts and stuff. I think that's a little bit outside the scope of the stream. But yeah, I've been thinking about how do I even do this? It's gonna be a lot. You know, I was thinking of doing a video, but that would be like a 30-minute video. I'd spend probably more than an hour editing it, and then it would take forever to upload because I upload in super high quality whenever I can. That means every single time I do an upload, YouTube's like, processing is taking longer than usual. It's like, no, this is usual, actually. It always takes this long to process because I always process my videos in actual. So that's something is like, for those who don't know, 1080p is not the same as 1080p. And what I mean by that is there are lots of different versions of what people call 1080p. And it all has to do with your compression. And I try to compress my videos as low as possible. I have an enormously huge bit rate. I've set my bit rate to like 50 Mbps, while YouTube just recommends about 10. But I really had to think this through. And I've been thinking, you know, the last 6 months or so about how to improve my stream quality, my video quality, and learned a lot in the process. But hey, wait a minute. This is my first time logging in today. I got to check out what this stag is. Oh, where'd that go? Oh, dude, that's pretty cool. This might be an alternative. Why can't... Oh, does it just stay the same? Yeah, riding skill does not affect the mount's appearance. That's actually such a huge win. Because I usually love I love the way that mounts look on their own. And then they get all this stupid crap all over their face, and they get a bunch of panniers and stuff like that that you really don't need. And it ruins it. Is this new? No, I would have noticed it. I didn't. This wasn't in the crown showcase, I don't think. I would know because I'm the guy who does the best video on that every month. Um, just saying. I, maybe I missed it. But dude, the thing is, I got all these crowns when it was on sale, and I was like, I'm gonna hang on to at least 15,000 for the new crates. I'm gonna hang on to at least 10,000. I'm gonna hang on to at least 5,000. And now look, they know what they're doing. They know that Dramathra is a better style, and so they're charging more for it. I was counting on being like, okay, I can spend another 4,000 on another outfit style, and I'll be Gucci. But no, they had to make it not 4,000. They had to make it 4,800 because they know what they got. They know what they got. They know that Dramathra is like the best style in the game. I probably will pick that up. That's kind of relevant too, but I don't want to because the thing is, if I pick that up, I also really want this. I'm a whale, but the way I look at it is I'm just really enamored with aesthetics in this game. And I've never had a game that's quite like this, where I love the aesthetics this much. It's something that's really different about ESO. There's just something about the way the Elder Scrolls universe has always been represented. You know, like kind of like gritty realism, you know? It just looks better than, I mean, Final Fantasy, BDO, like any of the competitors. World of Warcraft just looks so fucking weird to me. I just can't get past it. I don't know, like, what they were thinking with all the cartoonish crap, but I can't stand it. Hey, cool. I'm gonna try to soak up the knowledge of how to pronounce your name. Sat, Satixes, Satixes. Welcome, welcome. Just lurking and passively soaking up knowledge as a returning player. Cool. I will try to get on with the knowledge then. So here's my little outfit station. Everyone take a moment to appreciate this little spot I've set up here. Ember likes to walk around and check out what people are wearing. Oh, that's very ugly. You must change. I got all my crafting stuff over here. You know, I'm not trying to go Grandmaster and everything. I just like being able to go here. Like last night, you know, as a Necro, I just used a skill. How dare I? And I got kicked out of town. Then I was like, hey, you know what? I can still go level up my provisioning skill here. It's very convenient having all your own stuff. But here we go. Outfit station. Starting with this costume. This is a costume that just came out recently, and amazingly enough, this is just the default dye. I will prove it. Look, no dyes. No dyes. Really cool costume. So, in some cases, looking good in ESO is all about just buying something in the store and just slapping it on with no modification. But I honestly, I think it's like the first thing that's ever happened to me. I've never really just liked a costume just on its base. It's never just like gone with my style so well. But let's move on to this guy's actual equipment. I forgot what a silly billy this guy is. So this hat came from the most recent Jester Festival, and there are 3 of them. There's one for each of the Alliance Zones. I think this one's probably the most popular, the dragon. But I love the chicken. I don't know why. I just do. A lot of my favorite items are in this signature category here. And I don't know, it's just like a fancy word for stuff that you can't get normally. This is all stuff that you get through events or through the Crown Store. So with every Crown Crate, just a little bit of background. With every Crown Crate except like I didn't get my reward. Oh, Crown Lethal Poison. Wow. With every crate except like the really old ones, like every new one and every crate since like I'll say 2021 or so, they all have an outfit style that is in the second or third to lowest section here, you know, for 16 gems. And some of them are amazing, some of them are, yeah. I don't know. I like I like Argonians to a degree, but this style was such a miss for me. I didn't get any of these crates because I didn't like really anything in them. But yeah, this is stuff that you can only buy or get through events if it's in the signature category. Oops. There we go. Yeah, we'll have green. There we go. That's good to know, first of all. And that is in addition to the other categories of light, medium, and heavy. And then also you do have a separate section for all the Undaunted Helms. And these you get very rarely from killing the final boss in veteran dungeons. And it cycles through. Is that right, or do you just get the shoulders that way? I can't remember, but I've been in crews. Back in the day, I was much more into kind of the grindy sort of thing. I remember doing like veteran banished cells 2 like 12 times in a row, and nobody got it. These are pretty good. They allow you to wear these Undaunted styles even if you don't have the helm equipped. My way around that is just to use the helm because they're usually pretty good anyway. But yeah, those are the 5 different categories you have under head, and I don't think there's a separate category. Yeah, because there's no Undaunted stuff. Well, you also have clothing as well. This is kind of getting in the weeds, though. This is not really important. I was just kind of giving some context as to the different styles. Very solid first go on your name. I'm glad. So it's just kind of hard, I think, for like the English speakers to pronounce all those Y's and X's. Satixis. Satixis. I don't know. But I like the name. I do. So I'm just going to now go through each character from head to toe, explaining everything and where it's from to the best of my ability. And then I will explain dies. You know what? I think I'm actually going to do that first. That makes the most sense. I'm going to go through and talk about my favorite dies and where they come from. So most of the dies in the common section are really bad. There are a few sleepers in here, though, that you get through PvP. So as you go through, you will see that some of them say unlocked by Grand whatever Slayer achievement. I think this came out like 4 or 5 years ago, and for each class, there is a PvP achievement where if you kill, I think it's like 100. Let me double check. There's going to be a lot of this today. I always edit this kind of stuff out of my videos, but there's no editing today. So down to PvP. Yeah, it's 100. And I'm glad this was first, because this is the absolute best one. They came out with the Arcanist 2 years ago, and along with it, they came out with a new achievement, and this one is actually not in the common section. It's an uncommon. Mora's Mauve is so bizarre. It looks green on some things. It looks purple on others. It's super bright and neon either way. So as you keep going down, there are also achievements for killing certain species, but those don't give you anything. But for each of the classes, not species, each class or race, right? For each class, there is a die that comes with it. So, for instance, Spectral Blue is probably my favorite out of all these, and it comes from killing Necromancers. Let's just see what that looks like really quick. Actually, I'm going to check it out on my costume. Because this is actually really close to Spectral Blue already. Oh, actually, yeah, that's kind of an improvement, isn't it? It's the same kind of thing, but it's really shiny. It looks white, almost in some cases, blue, like its actual color in some cases, but it also shines purple. And it's actually an improvement. I'll leave that on there like that. There we go. Go ahead and apply changes. There are quite a few other ones, like the other one that's pretty good is Sorcerer's Bane Violet that you get from killing sorcerers, but it's a little bit too purple or pink for my taste usually. Spectral Blue, I mean, there's no word for it except spectral. It's a very like ectoplasmic, otherworldly kind of color. I really like it for that reason. But yeah, out of all the other common ones, there's maybe like one other that's actually pretty good. Noxophilic black that you get from being a vampire. But it's still like, these are all common, and they do a pretty good job of separating things out by quality based on the different categories. But there are some sleepers in here, right, that are actually surprisingly good. I don't know why they didn't put, for instance, the spectral blue in uncommon. That's where I would place it, honestly. It's a mid-range die instead of a really simple one. It's the X that throws people off. Everyone can pronounce Xerxes, which uses the same. You're right. So it's Satixes. Xerxes. And now you're making me think, Spartan, you will bow before me. I need a bunch of nose rings and stuff, and everything is in slow motion. It looks like a comic book. To this day, 300 remains just I watch that movie every few years or so, and it's still exactly the same as when I saw it in theaters in 2006. Like, there's just something so timeless and perfect about that movie. Fucking love 300. Okay, moving on to uncommon. And by the way, I'm not going to have a lot of these unlocked. I got quite a few more of, the ones that you get from, like, Ice or Frozen Blood or whatever on PC. But my focus since moving over to PS5 like 3 or 4 years ago has really been on just kind of enjoying the game. I have been through my period of trying really hard, and I did some veteran content when I first got onto PS, just kind of prove that I'd gotten to the level where I could do it. But I'm really just focusing on enjoying myself and kind of having a laid-back experience this time around. I've been playing since 2015. I mean, I've played this game so many different ways from Sunday. But out of the uncommon ones, like, most of these are also pretty dang bad. A lot of them you get through achievements, but they're really not worth it. I kind of like Regicide Red. It's this really cool, like, almost like red wine maroon color. Starlight Gold is the worst gold die. It's not even really gold, but it's one of the ones you get really early on. I think it's the first time that you ever get to champion level. The first time you get attuned to level 50. All these ones that say gold in here, they really aren't. There are only a few actually gold dies in the game. Welkin Blue is like, you'd think it was good, but it's not. A lot of these, they seem good, but then they have this really like matte, or like almost like someone drew it with colored pencil kind of appearance. Yeah, no, I'm going through here, I'm like, it's funny, I actually have more that I like, I think, in the common dies than I do in the uncommon. Again, like Stendar White, you think it's going to be actually white, and it's not. It's kind of like this colored pencil blue kind of thing, and Moonstone is like exactly the same. Yeah, I forgot how bad these are. But then you finally get to some real bangers. Like Fire Drake's Flame. How is that so bright? I should probably move my my camera, or just make it smaller. But where can I put it that it's not in the way? Yeah, okay, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to make a couple little adjustments here. So we're going to make it a little smaller. We're going to put it over here. Is that lined up properly? I think. Down a little bit. Yep. And now we're going to flip it. Flip horizontal. Yep. Now that's out of the way. Perfect. You can see the whole shebang now. Yeah, 300 is great, man. Satixes. Cool. I got it. So yeah, a little bit smaller, but I'm not the focus today. I do have some pretty good IRL drip going on today, too. I really hope these guys will sponsor me eventually. It's my favorite apparel company, Sacred Geometrics. I mean, I'm not really that into that kind of like, hippie sacred geometry stuff, but they have some really cool designs and super high quality. I love these guys. So that's my IRL drip, but I'm getting my face out of the way here. We're focusing on the game. Antique Silver is also pretty crap. It's... But the one real sleeper in here is Mora's Mauve. I'm just going to go ahead and do all the different channels and wait for one to be purple. No, not really. There are certain fabrics where this... You see how it kind of shines purple? There's certain fabrics where it really is purple. So it's really worth going and killing 100 Arcanists to get this one. I'm guessing these dice don't apply to powers. I only have one color effect unlocked on Soul Trap. This every skill in all classes. Okay. Yeah, no, let's talk about skill styles too, really quick. Yeah, so your dies do not affect your skill colors. And that is a really good question. So skill style is just something they came out with recently. I'm actually going to switch to a different toon. Just before I leave this guy, I'm going to go ahead and run through his whole thing. So the head is a signature style from this year's Jester Festival. Very silly. The chest is Fanged Worm Jerkin. This is when they refreshed Battlegrounds last year, they came out with a bunch of new skill styles, or sorry, outfit styles, and this is one of them. The shoulders, this is one of my favorites. A lot of my favorite styles are actually from Battlegrounds, and this is another one. Fire Drake is just a really great style overall. I have another toon that's using almost all Fire Drake that I'll get to eventually. And then hands, this is one, what crate is this from? I'm trying to remember, but the chitinous skill style is really great because it has really shiny materials, and then it exposes a lot of skin. So I'm not trying to be a man whore here, but when you're wearing a skin in this game, obscuring it or covering it up is kind of like the antithesis of what you want to do. So I love this skin. I'll get to that as well. And on the waist, I like the Greymore one because it looks like a bat. I don't know why they look like bats. I guess vampires, right? It's from Western Skyrim. That's like a whole vampire-oriented DLC. So yeah, vampire bat on the on the belt. This is a lot more like informative than most of my streams are. I'm having to like get in lecture mode here. Chitinous again on the legs and the feet. And as far as my weapons go, this is one of my favorite arms packs. I'm going to get through all the arms packs that I like as we go on. But Gloambound, so cool. This was one of the first ones I ever got on PC, too. I never bought any of the arms packs. I think there just weren't any really good ones in that era. I played primarily on PC from Well, I started on PS4, but then I soon migrated. I think by 2016, I'd migrated to PC, and I played there off and on, but not with any real, like, I was actually a Destiny 2 player big time. That was like my main game back then. But I would play this off and on a bit from like 2016 to 2020, and then I moved back to PS5 when I bought one of those in... When did I buy a PS5? Was that 2022? But I've also taken some really big breaks from this game, like for a long time. Yeah, Gloambound is one that I absolutely love. Okay, now going through this guy's aesthetics here really quick too. And arms packs, just to clarify, those you can only buy from the Crown Shop. There's one in the shop right now I can just show you, I think. They usually cost about 3,000 crowns. Actually, I guess there aren't any arms packs in right now. Really? Yeah, I guess not. Well, never mind. Yeah, the costs around 3,000 crowns, and you get weapon styles for most, if not all, of the different weapons. Okay, but anyway, moving on with the last of this guy's aesthetics. To get to the other stuff that you can't change in the outfit station, you need to go to appearance under collections. And yeah, I'm just gonna take this costume off now for simplicity's sake. I don't have it quick slotted at all. I just bought this, put it on, and haven't touched it since. But anyway, if you want to take your costume off, you go down here, you find it wherever it is, you deselect. There we go. Back to my crazy chicken appearance. So hats, not wearing any of those, but these are a few of my favorites. Ice Rage Helm, Ironclad Sacra Shroud, that's a good one. Not going to go into hairstyles because I'm not showing my hair with this one. Really, with this one, all I have here to show is skins. So on this guy, I am wearing the Orphan of the Stars skin, which is probably one of my favorites overall. I have quite a few others that I really like, though, too. Scales of Akatosh, we'll get to that on the next tune. My personality, I love personalities, because I don't think there's really anything else in the game that can really change your character this much. But, you know, you can go from having a freaking torch, to crouching around like a thief, to being all pompous like a Telvanni Magister. Pirates. The pirate one is weird because sometimes you stand on your mount. This one came out with, let's see, it was, you got the first two pieces during Jester, but then you got the last one during Anniversary Festival last year. Molag Ball, Pose, Brassy Assassin, Heroic. Heroic's one of my favorites because occasionally you just randomly yell super loud. Yeah, this guy's running the thief. Oh yeah, well, here's skill styles, right? So skill styles is something they came out with a couple years ago. Maybe just a year ago now, I can't remember. But these change the way your skills look. And I have a particular dude who is a really good example of skill styles. But yes, nothing in your outfit station changes skill styles, and you equip them by going to the actual skill and selecting it. So, for instance, on this one, I'm all blue, so I prefer the normal version of Lightning Form, but I have a style for that. Red. And, well, it should make me red, but I have to wait for it to actually expire first, so kind of screwed that up. Everyone just do the Jeopardy theme in your head for 30 seconds. Come on now. Final answers, contestants. Uh-oh, you put down Tiber Septim. He's not here yet. The Thalmor. I guess we do have Thalmor, but see, okay, now I am all red, but it clashes. It just clashes terribly with my daggers, so that's why I have the normal one equipped here. But skill styles do have the potential to really change the way you look. Okay, but this is my main. He has all the crafting and all the different stuff unlocked, and oh, of course, the bird is also red. That's one I just can't get rid of because I've just been waiting for years for them to make it possible to change the color of your summons, and we still don't have one for the monkey. The monkey is still as ugly as he ever was, but at least now you can make your bird red and also transparent, because many people will know that you go up to an outfit station and this guy starts flapping. It used to be, I think they fixed this a while ago now, but it used to be that would get in the way of everyone at the outfit station. There'd just be this big flapping wing right in front of you as you're trying to change your style. But now that doesn't happen anymore because there might be a big flapping wing, but it's transparent. You can see through it. Super awesome. Yeah, no problem, Satixis. My pleasure. But I think we're done with this guy now. I may have to come back, but I think that's everything for that character. And now I think what I'll do is go through a brief primer of every single character and kind of give you an idea of why I did what I did. So this one, I don't know. I'm kind of going for the idea here of like this pompous, androgynous sort of, you know, like I'll be honest, sort of like a femboy. Like I'm not really into that kind of thing in any way. But I just felt like, you know, sometimes I feel like these characters kind of design themselves almost. And as soon as the brassy assassin style came out, I was like, that's totally you. Even though it makes him look a little bit like a gossip girl. But you'll notice all the gold. I have a real aesthetic going here of just gilded degeneracy, almost. And then here, this is the guy I'm going to go to really demonstrate skill styles. I wanted to go for just like a total sorcerer in every way. So the build, the aesthetics, just like what a dark elf sorcerer would really be. Like I even designed his face that way, kind of this disdainful, angry glare. That's one of my newest tunes. Now this guy, I don't even know, man. I don't. I had him, like I named him Nightmare, and originally I had him looking really scary, but then I've kind of like backed off a little bit. Like he's not terrifying anymore, just super green. You will notice the green. And this is my second Warden, and with him, I went full on with the roleplay thing. This guy is as close as you can make him. He is a Maormer. He is a Maormer pirate. Uh, I haven't really gotten too deep into like, who his family is, what his ship's name is, or anything. I don't go that far, but I kind of like the idea of having a legitimate pirate, and the Maormer are my favorite race that you can't actually be in the game, but there are some ways with skins, etc., that you can kind of get there. And then when this horse came out, I actually built the whole character around the horse because this is the deep sea summoned corsair, and I think it's supposed to be specifically Maormer oriented. I'm not exactly sure. And this is my Rastafarian Khajiit. He's just a pure paladin of holy light. I tried to make him as shiny as possible, also match the mount. This hairstyle is amazing, the blue and the green. So I slapped on this green skin too to kind of match it a little bit. I'm not done here yet. As you can see, I haven't leveled him and I haven't even really gotten the aesthetics down yet. But the idea is just gold, shiny, bright, paladin of the light kind of idea. And then around the same time, I made the total antithesis. This absolute edgelord. Hot topic squared. Just as angry, as dark, as brutal. Excuse me. Metalocalypse, Ragnarok, End of Days, freaking red, black, everything. I don't usually go for that, but I was like, I don't even have an edgelord tune. I gotta do this. And this is one I don't really do much on anymore, but I'm pretty proud of the aesthetics of this guy. I made this tune, I put him up this way, and I haven't touched him since. Like it's been probably over a year. But I was like, nope, you're good. You're done. That camel's so silly, but I love it. And this guy is King Cold. Ice everything. Ice bear, ice wolf, ice skin, ice outfit, ice colors, etc. And this guy, originally, I had this whole Nord Viking theme for. I don't know. I made this guy, and I've put him on the shelf ever since. I feel like something's missing, and I don't really know what. But I do like the Molag Kina mask on there. I mean, there's a lot I like about this tune. It just kind of... I just made him and got bored. And, I'm just going to probably just get... I haven't done anything with this guy. I don't even really know why I made him. We're just going to skip over that. So let's see. We've already done my main. So that's 1. That means we have 9 more tunes to go. Hey, thank you. Statixies, the pearlescence effect on the paladin looks great. I'm totally going to get into how I achieved that. But we're going to start with Liber Vaccae here, which that is a rabbit hole. The name, I'm going to explain the name here really quick. So Liber Vaccae, or Liber Vaccae, is this absolutely bizarre book from, I think, the 12th century that... I was over here to make a thumbnail. This is a good backdrop here. That is all about alchemy, but specifically alchemy involving cows, like how to artificially generate human beings using cows and do all this other stuff. And it's a legit book that was written, 800 years ago. But I've done a whole lot of research on history, and eventually I'm going to expand my online presence to cover that kind of stuff too. There are people who go way too far. and just want to believe things. But we all know that history is written by the victors, and that means it is not an exact representation of life as it was. It is at least somewhat obfuscated or changed for the purpose of an agenda. And I've been really like strenuously like applying all my academic background to trying to figure this actually out, instead of just being a paranoid schizophrenic saying, you know, bricks in that redstone in Minecraft is a veiled reference to bricks and how they could hold electricity, which might be true. And by the way, like I think Eiichiro Oda, the guy who writes One Piece, knows all about this, because he there's this gap in history in One Piece literally 800 years ago, and that's when the best estimates indicate that history was reset or obfuscated. There's also this crazy, like literally crazy, Russian mathematician from the 1950s or so named Fomenko, who applied mathematics to history and came up with all these crazy ideas. But I love history because it provides us with the context for our lives, and I always felt growing up that there was something missing, that I was being lied to, or just people didn't know the truth. And I've really been digging deep into that. But I made this character at a time when I was really into alternative history, and they don't do everything perfectly, but if you want to kind of get a primer on this and kind of get an idea of what I'm talking about, there is a channel on YouTube here. And I'll say take them with a grain of salt, because these are kind of the people who say pretty crazy things, and I don't think they can necessarily back it up for sure. But Mind Unveiled, medium-sized account. They've made lots of really, really interesting stuff over the years. That's where I learned about Liber Vaccae from. I can unplug this now and switch it over. All right, but moving on. We're going to explain this guy's styles. And by the end of this, we will have a pretty good method going on. So, starting with the equipment. When I do have a helm equipped, it's that same, it's from the signature styles, the Allmaker helm. I think that was from the anniversary crates last year, but I could be wrong. I should know which crates they come from, but I think that's enough just to show what it is and say it's from the crates. So Allmaker helm from Signature. And then for the Golden Pursuits about a month ago, and this means this will probably never come back again. Or, I mean, maybe they'll release it some other way. But there was this whole Dibella's Exaltation jack, or style, the whole style, Dibella's Exaltation. And if you know anything about the lore, you know who Dibella is and what she is the god of. And so then it kind of makes sense. This looks almost like a belly dancer outfit. And there is a way to pull this off on male toons, if you're not afraid of them going a little bit femboyish. But this guy's easy. It's all just Dibella's Exaltation. And then the staff is the Nerieneth arms pack. I'm going to go through the ones that you get from arms packs really quick. So you also get... Well, this used to come from a crate, but now they've come out with the Truth and Logic arms pack as well. The red petal... what is that? It's associated with a particular dungeon. This is also an arms pack. I missed something? No... Grim Harlequin is also an arms pack. I don't remember why I bought this. Gloambound is from an arms pack. What's that? Deep Sea Corsair? Yes, Deep Sea Corsair. This is one of my favorites, man. It's so cool. I got this one for the Malmer toon because he's Malmer. And this is a total Malmer staff. The Malmer are my favorite class. One of these days, or race, one of these days we will actually get to play. We'll be able to make, I hope, we'll be able to make Malmer characters. That'd be so cool. Probably not, though. That's from a Crown Crate. I think that's it. I'll go through which ones are from crown crates too. So Blood Rage is from the Rage-bound crates. Nice red glow on it that sometimes persists even when you have it sheathed. This one is also from I can't remember the name of the crates, but it's the ones that came out with High Ion Galen. Oh, Ice Shard. I think that's also an arms pack, or maybe you. How do you get that one? I forget. But I think it's an arms pack too. I think I missed it. Anything else I got here from crates? Yeah, like I mentioned, the Truth and Logic does also come from crates, but I guess they also released it in arms pack recently. I think that's about it. This is the one opal staff I have, and you get these. Actually, someone has gifted this to me once. I think this is another thing that you can only get from veteran dungeons. There's also these different staff styles. Like, let me see the other ones. Where are they? Maybe it's all at the end. Yeah, opal everything. And they all kind of glow. And these have been out, I think, since the base game. Yeah, some dude just randomly gifted me one of these years ago. That one's pretty cool. The Bloodspawn one. I like that. Okay, on to the dies. One of my favorite... Oh, wait, I never even got to the rare dies before when I was going through them. I just kind of got distracted. So now's a good time. So the rare dies are definitely the best, but some of them are still pretty bad. The ones that I like that I have unlocked... Akatosh's Scales Gold is sometimes good. Very rarely. Viridian Venom is almost black, but with a green tint to it. I have that on a different toon. Transliminal Violet. We'll get to that. This is both the fun, like the most fun die to get, and it's also just one of the most beautiful in the game. I absolutely love Transliminal Violet. You get it the first time you go into Imperial City sewers and kill Molag Bal. Oh man, it's so much fun. Like it's a really fun one to help people get too. I used to, before I really was doing the channel, I was kind of focused on helping people get stuff in the game, like style stuff. And I took a bunch of people on Imperial City runs so they could get Transliminal. Well, we'll get to that. Voidstone is another one that it's almost black, but it's kind of purple. Cold Harbor Ash Black, you get that when you kill Molag Bal in the main storyline, like the Harborage storyline. Vex Mystic Blue, you get that from completing the Vardenfell storyline. Just the storyline. Divine Gold, I actually have a video of how to get this. It's when you craft jewelry all the way up the levels for the first time. So you have, it doesn't have to be the same piece of jewelry, but you have to take a common piece of jewelry, make it uncommon, and then rare, and then epic, and then legendary. And again, you just have to do each of those improvements, not on the same jewelry. And it's not just getting one up to legendary. You have to level it through each of the different levels. But then this is the probably most gold die in the game. But on some surfaces, even though it often looks pink otherwise, you have blood gold. And you'll see that blood gold is in my first channel on every single piece here. It's the one that looked the most gold in this case. And that one you get by completing the Northern Elsewhere storyline. Palatine Coral. I believe that is from the Southern Elsewhere storyline. And it's a pretty good red. Ish. Yeah, it's not my favorite. It's kind of like a pinkish, kind of weird red. Marble White. I'm probably going to cover this today because I got the really good advice to do a video on scrying. How to level your scrying. So I'm going to get working on that as soon as I get off stream today. This you get for unearthing 100 different antiquities, which you will definitely do as you level up scrying. This one is probably the hardest out of all of them. It's worth actually going into the achievements and explaining how freaking hard it is to get Black Reach Blue. So, to get Black Reach Blue, I believe it is under... No, it's under... It's... The whole achievement system is so dumb. Yeah. Savior of Western Skyrim. That is not just the quest. That is the quest there. The whole quest line in Western Skyrim. The whole quest line in the Reach. Finding all the frickin' instruments hidden around everywhere. Exploring everything. Doing the group events in both public dungeons. I mean, this is a huge, long grind. But I really feel like this blue dye is worth it in the end. It's just, that is the one I think I had to work the hardest to get out of all of them. But it's a really cool blue. Oh, that's Vex. Never mind. Yeah, it's just slightly shinier and slightly darker than Vex. Darkstorm Emerald, you get that just for completing... Well, what do you get that? I think it's kind of a similar thing. Where you have to not just complete the storyline in the Reach, but also... Yeah, you have to explore all the caves, and you also have to complete Western Skyrim to get this one too. Yeah, then in the Greymoor chapter, they went really hard with the grind. And then they backed off. They were like, okay, nobody really wants to grind that hard. Not even high school students at dances. Nobody wants to grind that hard. Okay. We're almost there. But I cannot go through this without mentioning Sunforged Patina. I actually do have that equipped on the 3rd slot. And it's a crazy one. It looks like bright green or even like ice blue in some cases. But then it can also look gold, depending on the fabric, depending on the lighting. That one you get just for completing the main storyline quest in Fargrave. Or the Deadlands. And King Orgrim's Wine, you get that for the Savior of Galen, which is not just... I can't remember, what does that actually entail? It's, again, not just completing the quest, but also... And where is Galen? Is this even organized in any way, or is it just like they just kind of throw it just randomly? Is that Fire Song? Yeah, okay. So it's the same kind of thing. You have to... what is Fire Song Extinguisher? What is that one? Oh, it's just like a kind of a side quest. We also get a really cool pet from that. Okay, good to know. Things not cycling back and or being Crown Crate exclusives kind of triggering my FOMO like no tomorrow. ESO monetization sure is being squeezed, it seems. Yeah, yeah, I know people who have just been like waiting for years for things to come back. Like with the Wild Hunt crates, it had been multiple years since those were out. You know, I don't know. I don't know if they're squeezing or if they just found a system that works for them. If you could get everything all the time, I don't know. You know, there's a lot of that, though. I'm not going to lie. But as a content creator, I really try to help with that. Like, I'm not trying to just, like, flex. Oh, look at all this stuff I have. I'm trying to explain how to get it. And then every single month, if you guys are new to the channel, if you aren't, you'll know this already. But every single month, I go through every single thing that's coming back to the Crown Store. Every single new item. So you will never miss out that way. If you just subscribe, turn on notifications, and just toward the last couple days of every month, they come out with the new one for the next month. And then you'll know what's coming. You'll know what events are coming. You'll know what's going to come out in those events. I really try to cover that in as much detail as I can so that people do not miss out. But I cannot say that they are not doing FOMO here. I mean, it's a big part of the style in the game, and it's part of why people feel so proud of their styles, because in some cases it's stuff that hasn't been out for a long time, or may never come back, and then there's a real fear of missing out there. But the point I'd like to make is that there are so many different styles in the game. There are so many different ways to look and to play that even if you're not able to get exactly what you want, you're going to be able to put together a really cool looking character nonetheless, just because there's such a freaking wealth of styles. I don't even know how many. I could ask Grok really quick, but there's so many different styles and different cosmetics to get that you'll be able to put something together no matter what. I'm really just, responding to popular demand here, and just people have just been asking me so much, what is this? Where do you get it? And I'm just trying to reciprocate. But yeah, the 3 dyes here that I'm using are, and you can always tell by doing the color picker up here. So that's Lemay's white. That's the best white I could think of on here. And then, hey, that's not how it's supposed to work. Okay, I guess this is how it's supposed to work. You do the color picker, then it goes to it. Then blood gold, and then Sunforged patina. That's how I think it's patina, not patina. Patina? Well, get your ass in here, patina. I gotta get the Sunforged. Patina! Even if it is patina, I'm gonna call it patina, because that just sounds way too hick and southern for my liking. Patina! Sorry, I'll stop. But that's that guy. Oh wait, no. I haven't done the rest of it. I've just done the outfit style, the outfit station stuff. The rest of it, and this is it's gonna trigger the FOMO even harder, I know. But I'm gonna start with the major adornment because I love this thing. The Molag Bal Masquerade. It came out in last year's Jester Festival. I think you could also get it this year, but I could be wrong. I freaking love this thing. It seems like it should be a helmet, but it's just an adornment. So you can also have your helmet there. Molag Bal Masquerade, some other good ones here. Mirror Mask, Mirrormore Mask. I don't know. Those are my 2 favorites. That and the Mirrormore Mask. I have plenty of others wearing that I'll get to. Minor adornments. I usually don't really go for these. Earrings, whatever. I guess the lucent earrings could look okay here. Yeah, fine. This guy's so feminine anyway. Might as well put some frickin' earrings on him. Why not? Costumes, not doing a costume here. Body markings, yeah. So in this case, I am doing a skin that also coexists peacefully with body markings. They exist, they're just kind of rare. This is the Mirrormore Memory body marking, which came out with the Mirrormore crates. And the skin is Scales of Akatosh. I'm going to favorite this if I can. Nope, you can only have 100 favorites, and I always reach the limit. Scales of Akatosh. Let me just take it off and on so you can understand. See, look at that. Like, I'm a vampire, so I'm all pale, but that gets my skin color back, and it adds all this like gold leaf, or it's golden dragon scales all over me. And yeah, just in a couple weeks, guys, or really about a week now, we are getting the Akatosh and Alduin crates, which is what I was trying to save on my crowns for. I'll have to buy a little bit more. I'm going to open 50 of those at least, because, I mean, these are the best crates I think we've had since last year's anniversary festival crates. Same time every year, they seem to come out with the best crates of the year. And if you want to know what's in those, I have a video from about a month ago with the data mine of all the different goodies that are coming out in the Akatosh and Alduin crates. Personality, as I mentioned, is Brassy Assassin, which really doubles down on the femboy allure here. Hand on the hip and everything, but I feel like it just fits this guy perfectly. No polymorphs, and skill styles I'm going to get to in more detail with the next character. But really quick before I do that, I'm going to go relieve myself. 1 second. All right, so I have a lot to cover with my Uber stork here, but mainly my focus is going to be on skill styles for this guy because that's really his thing. And honestly, I feel like skill styles are one of the best additions to the game ever. Again, you know me, I'm an aesthetics guy, so other people say, I hate paid stuff, etc. But I'm just not even going to argue about that. I just love changing the way I look in the game. It's my favorite thing about ESO. So anyway, this skill style came out, and I think I literally like whooped. I was so excited. This autumn leaves. It even makes a different sound. I'm going to turn up the volume here for a second so you can hear it. And it looks so cool. My god. And it changes color based on the type of staff you're using. Then of course I also have the skill style for the bird here. Oh, and Zareth Var, by the way, is rocking the... What's this one called again? And it's another one where I haven't dyed it or anything. The, Court of Bedlam costume. And that goes really well with the mounts. Or the mount that I've chosen for him. The Bloodroot Cinch. And I'll probably come back and do something of, covering all the mounts and everything. That's kind of outside the scope of today's video. Like my favorite mounts and pets and everything. But right now I'm just trying to explain the aesthetics. I think I'll just stick around here instead of going to my house and go over to the outfit station here. Usually with this guy I have his helmet on. The Maw the Infernal, which is just, I don't have the style. I'm just using Maw the Infernal on this guy because he's a summoner. He's a sorcerer summoner. In Vocal Guard, this is where the outfit station is. Upstairs in this little building. What's up, guys? Ooh, yeah. Yeah, just stick around here for a few hours, guys. Maybe you'll get it. See, look, there's my bird in the way, but it's not as in the way. But yeah, you're still in the way. Taxi to Grotwood, bro. Get a grip. Watch my video on how to get to any zone for free. The guy was asking for a taxi to Grotwood. All right, going through the styles. As I mentioned, I just have the base Maw the Infernal here. So if you want to just show the helm that you are wearing, you go to clear slot at the top there. And you can still dye it, but it won't put a style on it. It'll just show what you're actually wearing. So on 2 of the slots there, I have King Organum's Wine, which is one of my favorites because it looks sometimes purple, but mainly just kind of blue. And then, what is that I have on the 3rd slot? And why do I have it there? Oh, yeah, because it makes it look the most kind of leathery and normal on the back. What dye is that? Just for the sake of thoroughness. Rank 10 materials. Oh, yeah. This you get as you... how do you get these? Yeah, I think it's just as you continue deconstructing items as you progress in the game. You just gradually rank through these different materials dyes. And these are pretty good. I ended up using one in one case, so it must be kind of good at least. Then on the chest, I have Waking Flame. This came out with Fargrave, with the Deadlands, and it's a really good style if you want to look kind of edgy and pointy, but also show some skin. The shoulders are a Nyarlathotep's Chosen. I was playing on PC still when this came out, and I remember just hanging out. Oh, what is that place? It's the portals that appear in both the Deadlands and Blackwood, and you kill the boss at the end. You have a chance of getting these. I made so much gold doing that because people would just be buying a single piece on PC for 100k, 200k. These were in hot demand when they first came out. This is like probably the most hyped grindable outfit style ever. But now you can just buy it as a crafting motif. You can still grind it the old-fashioned way or buy it from shops too. In the shop, each of these pieces costs about, on PC, I'd say 20 to 50k. Still pretty pricey, but not like it used to be. On the hands, that chitinous style that I've been talking about before. Chitinous for the waist. And Waking Flame breeches, the light version for the pants, which is a man skirt, but if you go through history, dudes wearing skirts was actually kind of more normal than pantaloons or anything like that. You know, you go, of course, the kilts of Scotland, but also the ancient Greeks and Romans, all the way up to the Byzantine era, really. And then the commoner peasant garb became more normal, but dudes of class like a little breeze down there. And chitinous on the feet. And then the gloam-bound staff. And dyes, I've mentioned most of them already, but so here we have on the chest. What do I actually have on the chest there? That suspiciously looks to me like it's Welkin blue. No, it's Entaloma blue, actually. Yeah, I forgot. This actually looks pretty good. It's one that I usually gloss over, but I think you get this one by wearing all legendary gear for the first time. And on the second channel, we have, as I mentioned before, King Orgnums, which you get from Savior of Galen. And then lastly, for a little bit of a green-purplish flare, I have Mora's Mauve on the third channel, which again you get from killing 100 Arcanists in PvP. Okay. And that does it for that. Moving on to the appearance collections area. Yeah, I'll take off my hat and I'll explain the hairstyle. This is a dude who actually has a hairstyle. So this one is called Rotmyth Hangover Bedhead. And in the game, Rotmyth is a narcotic drink of some kind. It's not exactly alcoholic, I don't think. And if you look at the name, you might get kind of an idea of what may have inspired it. So, anyway, that's what that's called. Rotmyth Hangover Bedhead. And then I have on him the Eyes of Stendarr. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention the other guy's eyes, the Arcanist I just got off of, that's Darlock's Golden Eyes. That was actually one of the reasons I did this video, so I'm really regretting forgetting that. But, yeah, someone asked me, what are those eyes? And, yeah, Darlock's Golden Eyes, that was the one I just had on the previous character. These are the Eyes of Stendarr, or Srendar. That's the, you know, the Khajiit name. And let me just take a second. One thing I absolutely love, just love to death, about the Elder Scrolls lore in general, is they acknowledge something that happens in real life. Like, for instance, you have in ancient Babylon, she was called Ishtar. In some other place, she was called Astarte. And then in Egypt, she was called Isis. Same god or goddess, different names, right? So what happens throughout history is these ideas, or maybe the real gods, whatever, they appear in different areas, and then they're brought into the colloquial, you know, the language of the culture. And other fantasy, you know, this happens a lot in Lord of the Rings, for instance, but other fantasy things, in my experience, usually just have one name for you know, historical entities, gods, whatever. But one thing that makes the Elder Scrolls so real and immersive is that each race pretty much has different names for each god. But again, just like you can find the common phonetic origins, and just like really the, you know, the holiday of Easter, what does Easter sound a lot like? It sounds a lot like Ishtar, doesn't it? So you can really learn a lot about life and histories by following linguistics and phonetics and etymology. And there's so much of that in this game. So the Eyes of Srendar, not Stendarr, but it's the same guy. No facial hair. Major adornments, yeah, on this guy I put on the Windcaller's Circlet, which I think also comes from the Ragebound crates. And then this is something that you guys can actually go get this month. If you have not gotten it yet, I think it's the day 5 login reward this month. No, day 7. So if you've not yet logged in for 7 days this month, on day 7 you will get the Soul Harvester earrings, which are actually tiny little soul gems. Pretty cool earrings. No costume. The body markings on this guy, these both came out in the Miramore crates. The Rajaska's Snarl body tattoos. And these are a shout out to Zareth Var and his quest line, which is amazing, by the way. There are quite a few companion quest lines that are pretty good, like Embers, but man, I mean, Zareth Var's quest line is raw and emotional and like deeply spiritual. It has very profound Christian themes to it that they can't like not have been aware of. You know, it's something I meant to mention at the beginning of the stream. I'm going to take a bit of an aside. I need a quick break from all this just rundown of my inventory too, really quick. I am a committed and devout follower of Jesus. Not afraid to say it. But at the same time, I am very careful to admit this is a new thing for me. I was raised atheist. And I have so much sympathy for people who have been hurt rather than helped by Christians, whether how they were raised or, you know, fire and brimstone, Bible thumping. The faith has been in a really bad place ever since the fall of Constantinople, honestly. And I was just reminded today of this, where we just learned that my wife's cousin, who she grew up with, was like her best friend growing up, is in state prison for 10 years for stabbing multiple people. He was raised in an evangelical Christian household. You want to show me your painting? Oh, can I show everybody else too? I'm on stream. Do you know that?
Sure.
That's my daughter. Painted Pikachu. That's good. It's really good. Good job, kid. Thank you. Thank you for showing me. He was raised in an evangelical Christian household. And these people were completely crazy. I only met them a couple times, but they were absolutely insane. And, you know, beat the children, did things that were like, I just learned about this today. So apparently the mom was an absolutely just awful cook. But they were also a family that insisted that everyone clean their plate. So, you know, it's not enough to just call yourself a Christian. You have to live it out. And you have to live it out thoughtfully. Not just read Proverbs, hear, spare the rod and spoil the child, and then just beat the shit out of your children. That's... You have to be thoughtful about this. And so, again, if I ever come across, like, too Christy or whatever, I have, I think, a pretty developed perspective on this. And I was just reminded again today of someone who went through that as a child, and apparently they identified him partially when they were making the arrest by the fact that he has a giant 666 tattoo on his forearm. So obviously that didn't go well. So again, I'm not trying to, I'm in no way trying to Bible thump or make people afraid with fire and brimstone or anything. It's just that for me personally, finding Jesus has completely revolutionized my life. And I feel saved. You know, Amazing Grace was written about me, basically. But that is, I understand, not the norm these days. But I really hope that in my small sphere of influence, I can help it be the norm for Christians again. Anyway, just wanted to get that said. That's just it's just going on today. This guy's personality is the Master of Schemes, the Molag Bal one. And no polymorph. And we've already covered his skill styles. I love skill styles. such a great addition to the game. Absolutely enthused. I think that's it. Gonna put his helmet back on and move on to the next guy. I want to kind of start picking up the pace here, and it should be easy because I've covered a lot of stuff that will now be redundant. I won't have to mention it again. Okay. This guy, Nightmer. Yeah, I'll take him over to my house. Kind of afraid to because he has this effect here from the staff. See that? Like, even when it's sheathed, it stays there. But I'm sure if I moved, I've kept this guy in the same zone for like a couple months now because I'm afraid that if I move or switch zones, it'll go away. But I don't just have 3 glowing balls. I have 4. And by the way, I do have a video from that. It's kind of old now. Hey, what's up? Rizal Rahim, welcome. I do have a video on how to get the glowing ball effect too. It's about 6 months old now. It's amazing how much I've changed, or I'd like to say improved. I'd say improved in 6 months. Okay. So here I have Cold Harbor Ash Black as the main color, making all this stuff black. But then I also have making it green, Mora's Mauve, which is in the uncommon. Again, you get that from killing 100 Arcanists. And really enough said there, though, what I thought was pretty cool is... Wait a minute. Oh, never mind. I thought that the Buoyant Armiger... Never mind. It was... when I bought the Buoyant Armiger motif again, I thought that when I just applied it, it was already the exact perfect color, but it wasn't. It's just that I already had those dye slots applied from when I had a different shoulder on. But anyway, running through the styles, this is almost entirely chitinous. The headpiece, though, is Grim Harlequin, which comes from the Grim Harlequin arms pack. Or I guess it's like, no, there's an outfit style and an arms pack. I can't remember. There's like, maybe, I think there's this one item in the Crown store that gives you both all the weapon styles and the outfit styles. I can't remember, but Grim Harlequin is great here because it almost looks like I have like little like bug pinchers right there because I have the second slot dyed green. Yeah, definitely, Rizal. Yeah, I mean, PS5 Pro at this point, I think you could actually make this game more beautiful. Like, it might not be as quite detailed or whatever, but I think with the HDR settings you have, it's way easier to actually make the game more beautiful on PS5 Pro. And to be honest, it's just so much easier than building and maintaining a PC. I've been saying I'm going to build a PC for years, but like the incentive for doing so just keeps getting smaller and smaller and smaller. Like, I just don't see the point, really. I think that eventually, I don't want to get too into this, but I think eventually console gaming will win out just based on basic principles. Like, it's actually designed to do it. It's just, there has to be some technological leaps first. But yeah, I'm not at all ashamed to be playing on PS5. I really prefer it, honestly. I prefer the console gaming experience overall. I feel like I would drive myself insane as a creator if I was stuck with a PC. But yeah, no, I love to also represent all the people because, I mean, PSNA is, by the numbers, the most populated server in the game. It's way bigger than Xbox, and it kind of struggles with parity with PCNA, but I am thinking we will know. We will know in October which one is really the best, because I can't believe they're doing this. But if you guys don't know about this, the Writhing Wall event is going to pit all the different servers against each other to see who can do it first. And there will actually be a consequence. You won't be able to access Solstice Part 2, Eastern Solstice, until you complete the Writhing Wall event, which is a server-wide contribution Definitely not ripping off Helldivers or anything. They just got inspired. Really. I mean, we need more of this. It's gonna make the game so much more modern to have something where everyone's contributing together. But then we'll know which server is really the most populated by who gets through first. And I really believe I am strongly betting, like not literally, but I'm strongly betting on PSNA winning out. Yeah, unmechanized. So yeah, so many Christians have the holier than thou spiritual ego thing going on, and I think with a lot of them is unintentional. Just kind of jumping back into this really quick, but it's sort of like you have a really weak ego, or you're just kind of a coward, or life has been hard to you, and then you, without really believing, you just glom on to Christianity as someone to be, something that makes you feel better about yourself. But you don't actually let Jesus into your heart. You don't build that personal relationship. You don't actually do the inner work. And therefore, it just serves as a shell that protects your ego, but also allows you to fester and get even worse. And I'll just say it. I mean, the devil has been working overtime these last few centuries to really discredit the faith. And we need people. C.S. Lewis said, first we make them good pagans, then we make them good Christians, referring to how to raise children. And that's absolutely necessary. You have to understand the world. You have to understand why Christianity is important. And you have to come to Jesus for the right reasons. And everyone can be transformed, but I think a lot of people just take on the guise of Christianity to protect their egos, and they'll reap the consequences eventually. I'm not worried about that. It is sad, but I'm not worried. So anyway, on the head, Grim Harlequin helmet. On the chest, chitinous. On the shoulders, buoyant armiger heavy. Buoyant armiger is great. It has, especially for green, it has this natural, undyeable green gem thing coming out of it. I basically just got that whole outfit style in the shop. I mean, I have it on PC, and I grinded it out, and I bought it with gold. But I just bought it in the shop when it came through recently because I just wanted the shoulders, really. Chitinous on the hands. You may have noticed how much I like chitinous. Chitinous on the waist, and on the pants, and on the feet. And the staff is red petal, and this is from an arms pack. That's right, unmechanized. Amen, bro. Glad you agree. Okay. On to the collections menu. No hats, no hairstyles. Head markings is Eyes of the Zivili. These are a particular type of Dremora or Daedra or something. No, Dremora are a type of Daedra. These are another type of Daedra from Oblivion. I know that because I've been playing Oblivion, and there are Zivili in it. I was like, look at that. Playing Oblivion, honestly, has helped me appreciate ESO so much more. I played it for like a couple hours, as a kid, and I've really gotten into it, though, and understanding the historical consequence, or the historical context, right, where all this stuff happens between here in the Second Era and then in the Fourth Era. The whole world of Tamriel changes, but going into Imperial City and seeing it like actually populated and not overrun by Daedra and everything, like I'm struggling to like think of exactly how, but I would really recommend getting and playing the Oblivion remaster just as an ESO player so you can appreciate this game even more. No facial hair. Major Adornment. This is from the same High Isle era crates from which you also get the Galen Firesong staff. And it's this cool mask. It's a cool, and it goes perfectly with this outfit. Hey, random dark elf woman, excuse me. Hello. Okay, she moved a little bit. What are you pointing at? I guess I have to move. Rude. Let's take a moment to look at some other people's styles. That's pretty good. That's honestly like I'm. Good job. Got anybody else who looks good?
Greetings, Sarah.
It's so rare. I'm sorry to be rude, but it's like just hardly anyone has any idea about aesthetics. That's okay, but you're an orc, so you're disqualified. 5 out of 10. That's no effort at all. Didn't even dye it. 6 out of 10, maybe. A lot of people don't even look any better than NPCs. That's part of why I have nameplates on, is just so I can tell who's an NPC and who isn't. That was so rude, but it's like, I'm not trying to be rude. It's just like, just try. Do your best. Work on it, guys. You can do it. Nothing on minor adornments, no costumes, no body markings. The skin on this one is Hollow Void Husk. I think that's from Crown Crates, but I have no idea where it's from. But this was sort of from the idea of making this guy look as scary as possible. The personality is just the normal assassin. And you get that from... Yeah, literally all you have to do is travel to Gold Coast for the first time. It's one of the easiest personalities to get. No polymorph. I don't think there are any skill styles worth mentioning on this guy. But again, I just love skill styles in general. Yeah, nothing. Okay. That was easy. Moving on. Oh, this has been a pretty long stream. Anyone who's been with me from the beginning, thanks for sticking around. We are on the home stretch. Well, not really. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 left to go. This guy will be easy, though. He's just wearing a costume. I don't think I'll even go to the outfit station for this one. I'll just explain it from here. I don't even know if I've done any dyes. I probably should. Just make sure I know what dye I've put on the costume. Yeah, I love this. The whole idea of this character, I just love it. I've wanted to make a Malmer character for so long, and I finally did. I just love that skill in the Warden. That's going to be one that I'm going to be subclassing for sure. Okay. So the costume, yeah, I haven't dyed it at all, actually. Huh. No, it's just the way it is normally. Okay. That is the... Pirate First Mate's outfit. And it drives me crazy because that little sash clips and disconnects from the main sash, but if you can ignore that, it's all good. I have the hat on from that, and then the major adornment I have is... Where is that thing? Warlock's Veil. Just covers your whole eyes. I love it. But underneath that, Conjurer's Eyes. And, you know, Malmer, they're all about conjuring storms and stuff like that. Again, it's just perfect. This dude is fucking scary looking, though, honestly. He's scarier than Nightmare. No facial hair, no hairstyle, no major adornment, no minor adornment either here. No body markings, just the skin. And again, that's Orphan of the Stars, one of my favorites. And then the swashbuckler personality. No skill styles worth mentioning. But the... Oh yeah, I have a pretty good style here. This was all made to make him look like he's a Malmer as much as possible. But I'm not going to go through all that. Just a staff. This is the Deep Sea Corsair staff. And on that, I have King Organum's Spectral Blue, and it looks like Vex Mystic Blue over there. Yeah, that's what it is. And altogether, it gives this very bluish purple kind of color to it. All right, yeah, I am going to speed things up now. Next character. This is a good one. It's been a while getting here, but I'm really excited to go over this guy. So this dude, I tried to go for the Paladin of the Holy Light thing as hard as humanly possible. I would like to go and explain all the teleporting things and everything, but I'm really trying to, especially because this has been going on quite a while now, trying to keep it just focused on how my characters look. Alright, as I mentioned toward the beginning, one of my absolute favorite styles is the Fire Drake, which it's been around for years, ever since Battlegrounds came out. And I mean, this guy's a Dragonknight. For any kind of, Dragon Knights, obviously it really fits. Anything you want shiny, all the materials on this thing are shiny as crap. It's crazy. So shiny. And on this guy, I originally had it all Fire Drake, but then I wanted to expose his hands and his feet. So there I have Chitinous. But otherwise, it's all Fire Drake, and on the head, I have the Dibella's Exaltation Helmet, which again came out with Golden Pursuits about a month or two ago. The way I got this to look so shiny, though, is the gold dye I used. And yes, this is a gold dye. You would not know it. But Transliminal Violet, which again you get from the Molag Ball at the center of the Imperial City sewers, is gold. I mean, it can sometimes look purple. Like if I put it on cloth or leather, it would look purple. But in this case, it does not. Because it's on a metallic surface. Then here for the blue, just because it's really shiny, I did, I believe, Vex Mystic Blue. Nope, it's actually that Black Reach Blue I was talking about. Or is it? No, it was Vex. Never mind. I just was doing the wrong channel. Yeah, so thankfully that one's easier to get. But I feel like Black Reach would also look really good there. I think I chose Vex because, I'll often just spend a whole lot of time just like looking at how things shine and their luminescence and everything. I think this one looks shinier. I was just going for as shiny as possible. So the three dyes are Transliminal, Vex Mystic Blue, and lastly Marble White, which I will be explaining today how to get it in my scrying video, assuming this stream ever ends. And you just get that for digging up 100 antiquities. It often looks kind of purplish, but in this case, on this particular material, it looks just basically pure white. I love the way this guy looks. And there's a lot of different collections items here as well. Hairstyles. This is Khajiit specific, but you get blue and green streaks in here. Another one where I think I just shrieked the second I saw it for the first time. Like, yes! It's exactly what I need for this character. And that's why I've brought out some both blue and green elements in the armor, was to match that. Head markings? Yeah, I have the Eyes of Stendarr here again, or Surendar. And with him, it really fits because he's a Khajiit. No facial hair. Or actually, wait, yes. Yes, facial hair, I think. Yes, the sideburn mane. Again, a Khajiit specific. But without that, yeah, he looks kind of something's missing for sure. Makes him look more regal and leonine. Yeah, I do have that on, but it's covered up by the helmet. I really don't know if I like that Dibellus thing. Let's take that off. Yeah, it's very subtly up there. You can barely see it, but the Hakoshe Festival Laurel. Just right up there by his hairline. Minor adornments? Yeah, I don't think I have anything. What would that even look like? Can I even see it through here? Nah, it's all stuck in the hair. You can't even see it. Okay. No costume. The body markings are the Rajaska Snarl, which we've already covered, from Miramor Crates. And I threw on the Rain's Hand Renewal skin, which is from the Galen and High Isle crates. Because this adds a little bit of green there, and it kind of makes my tail look kind of moldy or something, but yeah, add some green to match the hair. Personality on this one is Treasure Hunter, and you just always have a torch out, which is kind of cool, kind of weird. Like, I only have it on one character for a reason, but I do like the torch. But you can't, like, not have anything out. Like, you either have your weapon out, or you have the torch out. So not very subtle. But I do like the Treasure Hunter personality. Occasionally he just, like, kind of crouches down, looks at the ground. I never lowered the volume. It's probably pretty loud. There we go. It's better. Hopefully my words were not drowned out. Yeah, and I think that's it. Skill styles. Oh, yeah. So there are some blue skill styles that came out for the Dragonknight that look really cool. So for Flame Lash, Noxic Breath, Noxious Breath, there we go. Hardened Armor. Yeah, those are the three, I think, where there are skill styles that came out that make it blue instead of red. So really cool if you're going for a kind of lighter or, you know, more light aligned kind of appearance. The red can be kind of overwhelming, or the orange can be kind of overwhelming for the DK. Okay. Only a couple left. Yeah, I don't know if you're still here, Satixes. It sounded like you were in Europe, so you're probably in bed by now, but I do appreciate you noticing how, I think you said the word was pearlescent for the way this is shiny. I agree. All right, time for the Edgelord. Black on black on black on black. Pretty simple. Yeah, I'm leveling this guy right now. I finally got Gravelord to level 50, so I'm ready for subclassing, but I do want to get this guy himself to level 50, just because I really like this character. Yeah, I was thinking this would take a while. I wasn't expecting it to take 2 hours. I have a lot of drip. Holy crap. So, here I have almost all Annihilarchs chosen, the heavy, except for the chest, because that was kind of overwhelming when I was trying it out. Like, it just kind of, and also, oh yeah, the hair clips through it. That's something you're going to find a lot. There's a lot of clipping in this game. So I decided to do chitinous because my skin is black anyway, and you can't even really tell it's there. But everything else is Annihilarchs, and I just left the base dye because it's already super black. On the chest, though, the dye I used was all three Cold Harbor Ash Black. There is a black that's blacker, but you have to get to Legate level in PvP, which takes freaking forever. So maybe if you do PvP only for like 5 straight years, you will get to Legate, but it takes a while. And that's really simple. On the sword, I have the Ancestral Breton. And the dyes are, let me just double check what this one is. Yep, Fire Drake's Flame to make it super red. And then this is Black Reach Blue to match my hair on the pommel there. and then Cold Harbor Ash Black on the hilts. But that guy's really easy. Just 2 different outfit styles, and one of them isn't even dyed. Hairstyle is Azure Amber. This came out, I think, in the Miramore Crown crates, if I remember correctly. I really love this hair. It's so blue and bright, and it matches with so many different things. Head marking is the Spider Kith eyes. One thing I love about the Spider Kith is they are exclusive to ESO. They've never been in Elder Scrolls lore before. The followers of Mephala. Some of the most terrifying eyes in the game, but I love them. No facial hair. Major adornment, again, is the Molag Bal Masquerade. Minor adornment, do I have anything? Yeah, I have the Greymore Ruby earrings. I think those are from the Ragebound crates. But again, I'm given the name, and then you can look it up from there. If I'd gone and looked up every single thing, this would have been like a 4-hour stream. No costume, no body markings. The skin is the Slag Town Diver, which I think is a reward for New Life Festival. You can get it out of a rune box. Usually not that expensive, like maybe 10k max at Guild Traders. And it makes you look like you were just dipped in oil. Like crude oil. Like gasoline. Personalities. Again, master of schemes. No Edgelord is complete without the ultimate Edgelord, the god of domination, Molag Bal. Yeah. If you get into the lore, you'll know what they really mean by domination. This guy has some cool skill styles. I'm safe here. So they came out with I think it's called Ruby Red for a lot of the different Necromancer styles. So, yeah, Venom Skull, the Scythe, even Glacial Colossus. Can I pull it up? No. Is red. But I just love the red Scythe. Oh, Daily Endeavor. Cast 10 skills with active skill styles. All right. The Scythe looks just so much better red. Okay. Only a couple more left. Actually, maybe one more? Nope. These are the old guys, but I've had them around forever. I just haven't touched these guys in so long. But this is, I think, the only character I have that actually has Divine Gold equipped. I don't really want to take you out of here. Where is the outfit station in here? Because he just, like, this is totally his environment. The outfit station is in here. Okay. What is this place? Rimmen? Yeah, I love Rimmen. Though it kind of weirds me out. There's also a Rimmen in OSRS. Whatever. Okay, so where is the right here? Yep. So we have Fire Drake's Flame and Divine Gold. Very simple. Divine Gold is the goldiest gold. And mostly we have Fire Drake, but to show the skin, I also have some Waking Flame on the chest, and then also on the legs. And the staff is the Blood Rage staff from the Ragebound crates. Nah, bro. I'm sorry. But I've already... Yeah. That guy keeps trying to invite me to his guild. Mechanized says, I've got a couple of characters I haven't used in years. I put the sad personality on them. They're sad because they don't get... They're sad because they don't get used. I love that, man. That's so funny. Yeah, this guy's got the heroic. He's still holding strong, man. He's been in prison for years, but he's gotten stronger for it. So yeah, anyway, we got, like I said, the heroic personality, the no body markings, but the skin is Deadlands Scorcher. And it's very similar to Deadlands Brand, but it has a little bit of extra kind of like char look on it, and I feel like that goes better. But I kind of go back and forth. That's the one thing I ever change on this guy is between Deadlands Brand and Deadlands Scorcher. Yeah, personality is heroic, no polymorph. What class even is this guy? I forget. Oh, he's a Templar, right? Oh yeah, just got shields on shields. What is that skill style? Blessing of Restoration has a blue skill style now. Okay, cool. I forgot about that. Okay, the orbs come from... I do have a video for this. It's way back in my ESO playlist. The orbs come from 4 different sets. There's also a 5th one that isn't as shiny, and it's from Trials. But you get both of them, Oopie Goopie, great name by the way, by combining, in this case, the Ebon set from... Shit, I can't remember. And Herseens, which is from Selene's Web. And the blue one you get from Vaults of Madness. And there's also another one called Sanctuary from Banished Cells that is also green, but it's heavy armor instead of medium. So you have 2 ones that give you the exact same green balls, Sanctuary and Herseens. You have Ebon. Oh yeah, that comes from Crypt of Hearts, right? Ebon comes from Crypt of Hearts, and it's really easy to grind. Like you just go and do the normal version of the dungeon over and over again. Just at the beginning, chat and say, "Hey, looking for Herseens, looking for Ebon, etc." And pretty soon you'll have your sticker book filled out. But yeah, you need the full 5 pieces of each to get that. If it says grants whatever, it's all these ones that also it helps your group. You know what's really crazy about this? Yeah, thanks, Mechanized. I finally got it. These are actually so good for PvP. I know from experience. So what people kind of forget in Battlegrounds, at least, is you're only as strong as your team. And I will guarantee you that most of the edgelords playing PvP are only thinking about themselves. And so they have amazing burst damage, but then they get killed instantly. But I see guys just being like, what? I'm still alive? Because I just focus on keeping my team alive. And these sets, even though they're super old and not meta, they really do help with sustain in Battlegrounds, especially. I have noticed that many times where my ability to heal through magicka and other people's ability to stay alive is so much better. I mean, people say they're just aesthetic at this point. They have no practical utility. They were at one time some of the best trial sets, but then that was 10 years ago. They've been there since the base game. But yeah, I remember it's like 5 years ago or something. I saw someone whose name was just so shiny, like with a bunch of exclamation points and stuff, and they had a combination of the red and the blue, which makes it purple. And I was just like, what? And I was just, what is that? And ever since, I've just been addicted to the glowing balls. Yeah, no problem, Goopy. Yeah, I do have a video on it, but always worth mentioning. Okay. Last 2 characters. This has been a 2-hour plus stream. I usually don't go this long. But I know a lot of people stream like 7 hours a day, but that's never going to be me. I'm only going to go this long if I actually have something to say. King Cold. Because there's Frieza, and there's Cooler, and then there's King Cold. And in the end, Frieza becomes the most powerful, but for a while, King Cold was actually more powerful. I just kind of placed myself in that particular point in the DBZ chronology, and he just has the Worm Cult set, so just plain blue. Yeah, there we go. Robe of the Worm. Right, everything of the Worm. And once you get 5 of those, you get the blue. But this guy's just blue as crap. I'm just going to take him over to my house over here because I don't remember where the outfit station is. I don't want to go find it. Yeah, Ice Heart for the head and shoulders, and those are just. I'm actually wearing Ice Heart because it fits thematically, and I just have those, unchanged. Okay. I think I've basically just done Vex Mystic Blue on pretty much everything. Oh, shit. That's not what I meant to do. Yeah, Vex on everything, as far as I'm aware. Vex, Vex, Vex. And I'm not talking about the robots in Destiny. I am talking about this die that you get from completing the Vardenfell main quest line. And that's it. And then on the weapon style here, I have Ice Shard, which again, for the life of me, I can't remember. King Gold. No, I think the idea is as you get older, you get less kinky. The testosterone goes down. This is what Carl Jung said. He looked at Dante, and the opening line of Dante's Inferno is "Del mezzo del nostra vida," and it means at the middle of life's journey. And so he envisioned life as a two-part series where the first 33 years are achieving temporal dominance, establishing yourself in the world, and then the remaining of your life, back when life expectancy was around 66, and now it's a little bit higher. You get like 10 bonus years at the end, right? But the remainder of your life is letting go and returning back to the source. So no, I hope all the kinkiness goes away. That's the way it's supposed to work, at least. You're keeping it real here, Mechanized. I appreciate it. But that's a really easy one to explain the outfit station side of things, and then we'll go over to the appearance. So, yeah, nothing in any of these. Going all the way down to skins. Crystal Frost. You get this from... I think I know where the achievement is. It's in New Life Festival, and it's something you can do any time of year because you can just get the writs. I think... Wait, no, you can't turn them in. I think you do have to wait for New Life to be going on. I can't remember. It's been a while. But let's go down to holiday events. New Life. Yeah, there we go. Complete 12 New Life charity writs. Deep Winter charity writs. Or there's one of these that, out of those three, there is one that you can complete outside of New Life, I believe. Because you turn it into Rolas Halalu, the master writ guy, instead of the NPC that only appears during New Life, but don't quote me on that. I don't remember. You may have to wait for New Life to get this, but it's every year. It's every year, and it's free, and it's easy to get. Yeah, dude, Jung, he's the one that that really converted me, because I was reading Carlos Castaneda. I was raised Vajrayana Buddhist and atheist at the same time. Singing bowls in Darwin. Tonka paintings on the wall. That was an exciting childhood. But then I started reading Jung, and he said a couple things. He said one thing is that to be a Westerner and to not be Christian is like amputating one of your arms or legs. You're just not going to be able to orient yourself in life. And I was like, that's actually a really good point. And he made the concepts underlying Christian faith actually articulable. I'd only seen people running around screaming at their kids, freaking out, being lunatics, having 25 kids all locked in dungeons or whatever. I'd only seen the absolute batshit side of Christianity till I read Carl Jung. So God bless that man. Lived a pretty bizarre life. But if he hadn't been there, it would have been Freud and his daughter and his nephew who would have run the world. And I'm not overstating that. If you haven't seen it, you need to watch a documentary from the 90s called The Century of the Self. And it details how Freud and his daughter Anna, who came and became a socialite on the East Coast of the United States, and especially his nephew, Ed Bernays, who coined the term public relations, was behind the Freedom Torches campaign that got women hooked on cigarettes, and also was behind the campaign on behalf of the textiles manufacturers to make women identify themselves through what they wear. So that would have been dominant if it had not been Carl Jung and a couple other people like Wilhelm Reich, Stanislav Grof, who were all part of that same Vienna circle. If it hadn't been for them, Ed Bernays would run the world even harder than he does from the grave today. But yeah, no, that was Ed Bernays would have never existed if it hadn't been for, like, not like he was his father or anything, but he was a devout acolyte of Freud's, who then took Freud's really cynical sexual theory and applied it to marketing and making money. It was about the most evil thing that's ever happened. Like, people get upset about World War II and the Holocaust. Like, yeah, okay, sure. The Ukraine famine, the Maoist pogroms, whatever. Like, sure, that was all bad. But seriously, what Ed Bernays did to the collective psyche through public relations and modern advertising has just set the world back centuries. And really, it was just Jung and a couple other people who stood in the way of Freud convincing everybody that everything they wanted to do was just because they wanted to fuck their moms. It's just like, and Jung just like was like, what? That's crazy. You know, Freud really thought that all dreams, every single dream, was sexual, but Jung posited the collective unconscious, and thank God for him. Yeah, he was a mass hypnotist. Yeah, yeah, for real. Yeah, old man's. Yeah, he hated faith. Freud, when you really get into it, it was all about. He had some really good ideas like psychosomatism, like where if you have a condition, it will express itself in your body, right? If you have a psychological condition, like the the example he uses, like if you're having trouble getting a leg up in life, you will have problems with your knee or whatever. But what I always find ironic is this guy was spewing psychotic bullshit his whole life, and he died of jaw cancer. The jaw was working a little bit too hard there, Freud. What wasn't it? Maybe you should have just shut up, dude. I don't remember what Bernays died of, but yeah, that's for real. Okay, whew. Last tune. I think I covered everything there. Pretty sure. Jomsviking. There was a time when the name of the Jomsviking was feared all throughout the North Sea. We arrived on our longboats and raped and pillaged all the lands. With our axes and our... So yeah, I went full Nord with this guy. Bro, you are running too slow. I'm just taking you over to the shop. Take him to the candy shop. Gonna show you what he got. Don't stop until I've explained a lot. Okay. So, Molag Kina Mask. I feel like that really does it here. And just, unaltered. But then I have dyes. So, main dye is, again, Divine Gold. And then I have Marble White. Or is that Marble White or is that something else? That is actually... Oh, yeah. They came out with this. It's a freebie as part of U45. Where if you go up to every single different Mundus stone once, you get this die. And I don't think it's in every zone. You just have to visit one of the, like, you have to visit all 12 one time. It doesn't matter which zone, if I remember correctly. It's a pretty good off-white, grayish die. Oh yeah, that baby's pissed off. I can tell. I've been going so long, it's actually baby's nap time already. She is tired and pissed off. So mainly we have Divine Gold and that 10-year anniversary. And on the head, I have Molag Kina. And that's just like those little jewels you see up there. This makes them kind of shiny. The Molag Kina mask, it's like overdone at this point. Like every single edgelord in the game wears it. But I think it goes really well with this guy. And then on the chest, what is this? This is, oh yeah, these are the ones that you can buy for AP from the Armorer in Cyrodiil. So whatever faction you are, just go to the main city, and there's an Armorer in one of the buildings or something, and for pretty low amounts of AP, you can get these skill styles that, you know, if you're going for a particular theme, like a Nord in this case, the Thane of Falkreath style goes really well. And then, where did this come from? The Arcane Unending? Was that from White Strake? Yes, this is from the most recent White Strake, the Arcane Unending Cycle style. And that's on the Pauldrons there. I thought that looked better than the Falkreath. And yeah, you get that through White Strake, and it'll probably be back with the next White Strake. I'll never look at White Strake the same again. Ever since I learned who Pelennor White Strake actually was and all the absolutely batshit stuff he did. Just murdering... How do you mistake a Khajiit for a high elf, bro? But he killed a bunch of Khajiit because he thought they were elves. Like, dude, were your eyes closed? They have tails and they look like cats. Anyway. All right, peace, Mechanized. Thanks for sticking around for so long, dude. Have a good day at work. See you soon. And then these are from, I think, the Ragebound crates, this style. The Allmaker, or no, where did these come from? I can't remember. The Allmaker style is so cool, though, because it has this kind of ice-like, or like Welkind style kind of thing on it. And then here, yeah, Thane of Falkreath for the belts. Thane of Falkreath for the legs, and then back to Allmaker there. And then on the sword, Narianeth. Oh, yeah. This is another arms pack that I didn't mention. The Narianeth arms pack looks pretty unassuming until you whip it out, and then it glows blue. I hope that's not true for any of you gentlemen. I hope that when you whip it out, it doesn't glow blue. But in the case of your sword, on the other hand, that's kind of a cool thing. Okay. Wait. Still got to do the collections. Facial hair is the Hrothgar Hermits. You know, nice braids going on there. No body markings, no skins. Personalities. I put Master of Schemes on here, but I don't know if that really fits or not. Probably better off with the Heroic, right? I don't know, man. I think I'll stick with that. No polymorphs. I don't think there's any skill style to speak of. There's the blue puncturing sweep. Breath of Life is blue too. I don't think I have that equipped. Do I not have puncturing sweep equipped either? No, I don't. I have some other crazy stuff equipped. Yeah, I have a Radiant Glory and everything. Well, I think that's it, guys. Ended up being a 2-hour plus stream. I guess I had a lot to cover. I was thinking of maybe jumping in and doing a round of Battlegrounds before I get out, but at this point, I'm just kind of exhausted. OBS also gave me kind of an ominous notification up there. Shh, OBS. It's going to be fine. OBS is like pretty much the only open source free program out there for streaming. Takes some getting used to, but it's really cool and customizable. I love OBS. Okay. Well, that's it. That is all my styles. That's how I got everything. And I guess I'll do another stream soon covering all my pets, all my mounts. That won't take as long, I don't think. Oh, oh, I'm so glad I got all that out there. And coming up, I'm gonna do a lot more style-based content. I have like 5 or 6 videos already planned out for style, but for the rest of the day, this is what I'm doing. I love it when my work is just cut out for me from the comments. Like people are just like, "Hey, do this." I'm like, "Okay." I don't have to think. That's helpful. So I never have done a scrying guide, but it's super frustrating and takes forever. And there is like a very it's never efficient. It takes forever no matter what you do, but there is a way to do it more efficiently than any other way. And make a video today on how to level scrying, and hopefully I'll be able to get some more than that. But this stream went a long time. What was the other idea that I was given today? I don't remember. I'll have to go back in the comments. The heck? I got stuck on an ad here. I'm monitoring the stream at the same time I'm watching it. And I got stuck on an ad and it wouldn't refresh. Okay. But yeah, okay, that's good. Because I know I had another idea that someone gave me today. Oh yeah, no wait, where is that? I know I wrote that down. Or maybe I didn't. No. But one of my, super duper helpfuls. Yeah. Best quality of life passives in ESO. So like, getting the persuade thing from Mage's Guild, what Lavendil here mentioned, the mount speed one from Cyrodiil, lock picking, to open chests, fighters and Mage Guild, the archaeology one to see treasure chests at a difference. Not archaeology, but yeah, from scrying, it's connected. The undaunted ones that give you a stat boost. Yeah. Alchemy for potion uptime. Yeah, I'm gonna do a video. That's probably tomorrow. I don't think I'll have time today. I'll do the scrying video today, and then tomorrow I'll do a video on all the best passives to get. What's great about getting ideas this way is I know that they're in demand. I know that people want to know this. I don't have to guess. I know it's going to succeed. So I've said it before, I'll say it again. I would not even be close to half of the creator I am without my community. I really think that's why I'm here. It occurred to me the other night because I've put so much effort into this and it's still not really rewarding that much. But what it has done is it's connected me with a whole community of people. I never feel alone. I have no other need for social interaction except my family anymore. I feel totally at home here with you guys. And it's just growing. So much love. You guys could never even know. Goes out to my community. And thank you all for hanging out here today with me. Thank you to Unmechanized One, Rizal Rahim, Oopie Goopy, Satixes, anybody else who chatted and I didn't mention you. And thank you to everyone watching now and on the recap. It is quite a long stream as far as my streams go, but a lot of good information. And with everything I gave you, it might take a long time because, like Satixes mentioned, it is kind of there's some FOMO going on. It takes a long time for a lot of these things to come back in the shop. So you might have to wait a while. But just with the information I've given you, you'll be able to look exactly like me if you want to, and I bet you can look even better than me. I bet you will. So, I am going to go now. This has been a long stream as far as my standards go, but I'm just going to do a quick prayer. Lord, I thank you for all your gifts and for bringing me here today. I thank you for my community. I give all glory to you. I ask that you continue to strengthen me so I can be an example to the world of what Christ can actually do. There are so many examples of destruction and anger and pain. So strengthen me, help me grow my community. All glory to you, God. I thank you guys so much for being here. I really do. Went all blurry for a second. One last look at this guy and his cool skill styles. Woo! Yeah. I love this game. I appreciate you guys. Off I go. Bye-bye.